Good evening, good evening. This is Marie Holiday, and I hope everybody have a fabulous day today. And before we get started, please hit that subscribe button and notification button. I really do want to thank all of my viewers and subscribers for supporting my channel. This channel is really nothing without my viewers and my supporters. And if you have not subscribed and you are a viewer, a consistent viewer, any viewer, please subscribe and support this channel. So with that being said, let's get down to business. The focus of this lecture is going to be Billie Holiday, aka Strange Fruit. Billie Holiday, aka Strange Fruit, and the message behind that powerful song. I've been listening and following her music for well over 20 something years. I've done a tremendous amount of research on Billie Holiday in order to present this lecture. I'm not giving you the Hollywood version. No, I've done some research prior to presenting this lecture on my channel. So pay attention. First recorded in 1939, the protest song Strange Fruit came to symbolize the brutality and racism of the practice of lynching in American South. And now more than 82 years later, such is the song Strange Fruit enduring power that rapper Kanye West sampled the track on one of his albums in 2013. And audience, you are aware if an artist owns the rights to their music and another artist wants to sample their music on one of their albums, that artist or the descendants of their artists have to be paid. But unfortunately, Billie Holiday did not own the rights of her music, especially during that era. Artists was exploited by the record label to the highest level. In March of 1939, a 21-year-old Billie Holiday walked up to the mic at West 4th Cafe Society in New York City to sing her final song for that particular night. Per her request, the waiters stopped serving and the room went completely blank. It's for the exception of a spotlight on the legendary, beautiful Billie Holiday. And then she sang. Softly in her raw and emotional voice, southern trees bear a strange fruit. Blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. As a very, very young woman, when I first heard that song, I had no idea of the meaning behind those words. All I knew is I was listening to someone who was great, and you can just feel the pain, the haunting pain radiating out of her, the beautiful haunting pain radiating out of her body as she sung. When Holiday finished, the spotlight turned off. When the lights came back on, the stage was empty. She was gone, and per her request, there was no encore. This was how Billie Holiday truly performed Strange Fruit, which she will continue to sing for the next 20 years of her life until her ultimate death at the young age of 44 years old. Strange Fruit was originally a poem. Billie Holiday may have popularized Strange Fruit and turned it into a work of art. But it really was a Jewish communist teacher and a civil rights activist from Bronx, New York, by the name of Abel Meeropol, who wrote it first as a poem and later as a song. I'm here to tell you. His inspiration for writing that poem, Mr. Meeropol, came across a 1930 photo that captured the lynching of two black men in Indiana. The image haunted him for days and prompted him to put pen to the paper. After he published Strange Fruit in a teachers' union publication, Maripol later composed it into a song and passed it on to a nightclub owner, who then introduced the song Strange Fruit to the legendary Billie Holiday. And that's how she got her hands on Strange Fruit. The song reminded Holiday, Strange Fruit, of her father. When Billie Holiday heard the lyrics, she was deeply moved by them. Not only because she was a Black American, but also because the song reminded her of her father, who died at the young age of 39 years old from a fatal lung disorder after being turned away from a hospital because he was a Black man. Because of the painful memories it conjured, Billie Holiday did not enjoy performing Strange Fruit, but she knew she had to. It reminds me of how my pop died, she said of the song in her autobiography. And I encourage everyone to get her autobiography and read it. But I have to keep singing it, not only because people ask me for it, according to what she said in her autobiography, but because 20 years after Pop died, the things that killed him are still happening in the South, she said in her autobiography. It was so much going on in her era. She witnessed so much as an artist, as a singer, but she continued to press on. Billie Holiday did not let the industry control her. She did not. The protest anthem became Holiday's downfall. While civil rights activists in Black Americans embraced Strange Fruit because they saw the same thing Billie Holiday saw, Black people being lynched and hanging from the trees, and the injustice and the inequality from all aspects of life. While civil rights activists in Black Americans embraced Strange Fruit, the nightclub scene, which was primarily composed of whites, they had mixed reactions about Strange Fruit. At witnessing Holiday's performance, audience members would applaud until their hands hurt. That's just how much they were moved by that song. While some people on the flip side would bitterly walk out of the door as Billie Holiday performed Strange Fruit. One particular individual who was so determined to silence Billie Holiday was a Federal Bureau of Narcotics Commissioner, Harry Anslinger. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He was a known racist. Anslinger believed that drugs caused Black people to overstep their boundaries in American society, and that Black jazz singers such as Billie Holiday, who smoked marijuana and used other drugs, created the devil's music. That was his mindset. That was his belief. When Anslinger forbid Billie Holiday to perform Strange Fruit, she refused, causing him to devise a plan to destroy her. Knowing that Billie Holiday was a drug user, he had some of his men frame her by selling her heroin. When she was caught using the drug, Billie Holiday was thrown into prison for about a year and a half. Upon Billie Holiday's release in 1948, the federal authorities refused to reissue her performance license. In that era, they had to have that performance license. Still determined to soldier on, she performed to sold out crowds at Carnegie Hall. Yes, Billie Holiday made it all the way to Carnegie Hall. Nothing was going to stop her. You know, she was guided by God without a doubt. But still, the demons of her difficult childhood, which involved working at a brothel alongside her prostitute mother, hunted her, and she began using heroin again. She had a relapse. In 1959, Billie Holiday checked herself into a New York City hospital. Suffering from heart and lung problems and cirrhosis of the liver due to decades of alcohol and drug addiction, the singer was now at that point an emancipated version of herself. Her once heartful voice, now withered and raspy. Still bent on ruining the singer, and Slinger had his men to go to the hospital and handcuff Billie Holiday to the bed. Although Billie Holiday had been showing gradual signs of recovery while she was in the hospital, and Slinger men forbid doctors to offer her further treatment, so she died within days at the young age of 44 years old. Strange Fruit was declared a song of the century. Despite Billie Holiday's tragic demise, Billie Holiday has had a lasting legacy in the world of jazz and pop music. Billie Holiday was awarded 23 Grammy posthumously and was recently inducted into the National Rhythm Blues Hall of Fame. Among the many songs that Billie Holiday is celebrated for, Strange Fruit will always be one of her defining pieces of work. It allowed her to take what was originally an expression of political protest and transform it into a work of art for millions and millions of people to hear. In 1999, Times designated Strange Fruit the song of the century. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the story behind Billie Holiday, aka song Strange Fruit. I encourage everyone to read her autobiography. It is powerful. It is hauntingly powerful in a beautiful way. So with that being said, that's all I have. Please do not forget to hit my subscribe button, hit my notification button. I truly hope the audience enjoyed this lecture on the legendary, and I mean the legendary, beautiful Billie Holiday. Rest in peace, and I have no doubt God received her in heaven. I have no doubt with that in all of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Semper Fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great evening.